Hey everyone, we're back. I'm back with Yarna,
Yes.
and today we're going to talk about alignment,
Hmm.
which you're going to understand it today because I didn't know why Yarna wanted to do a call today, but I mean a talk because we kind of do them, every week, but uh it was just really aligned is what happened because he has this vision of what he's doing and what he's doing with me. I have this vision too, but we don't always trust that, any of us. This is what I'm saying. And so this is the place where we are with the work that we're doing is coming into more alignment and understanding. And so tell first of all, talk
But
about
the only
like
thing why we don't trust that is because it keeps changing and
yes,
evolving in the
yes,
process. And what we think it is right now might not be the thing that it's going to be.
right,
And this is why we don't trust because we're unsure of if it's unfolds in that certain way. But if you leave it more open with that intention, like when you aim for something that is in your best and to your best in your favor, then you allow the universe even to adjust in things that you could have never adjusted yourself, and you get something even bigger out of any relationship that you're in because of that trust. Um, uh, right? Like it's very interesting.
well, okay, you don't even know, and Yarna doesn't even know this story because this just happened just before you came on. And it all happened this morning. And this is going to be a testament to all of us to know that we are aligned. Every single person born, there's alignment in the universe. We just have to find it at sometimes. And then sometimes we have to break down. And that's what I did. Last night, I'm so upset with myself. And I'm just saying this because we're going to all feel this because no matter who we are,
Mhm.
there is
I
more
was
that
I was upset, yes, upset yesterday as well.
perfect. That's so we're in the same
I had
place.
too many coffees. And I was so all over the place that I couldn't focus.
But and so when I got up this morning, I said, I've got to talk about this because I know stuff that I'm not talking about. That's the other thing. I'm
Mm.
very, I'm introverted and I
Yeah.
do things when I'm working with a client or a group or any, I'm perfect. But to get out and do something on my own is a lot more challenging. But I said, I've got to record a video. And I said, I feared success and myself.
Mm.
That's what I said because I had written an article with that title 2 years ago because I knew what I was meant to do. I knew where I was meant to go, but still I was holding back. And I said that's not helpful for anyone. It's not helpful for any of us, and it's not helpful for our world because we're all meant to evolve and prosper and expand, which is what happens in the world.
You're kicking down a very big barrier right now.
Really?
Mm.
Go ahead, tell me, tell me.
Like because you're like you have limited yourself for such a long time.
Yes.
Like now that you're feeling more vibrant, more younger, like what you do with every action, with
Yes.
every podcast, with every conversation, with every call that you have with clients in the group calls or a single one-on-one sessions, like you break down barriers step by step, right? Your own, and you help other people to do the same whilst you're doing it. So it is just an embodiment that you're stepping in.
Yes.
And like we manifest in time, so we're here to be clear and observant of the process and enjoy the process as well, because this is what gives us that wisdom through the experience that we wouldn't have gained without the understanding of linear time.
Time. You said you this is too perfect today. How are you doing this?
Or not just linear time, but time in general, if we look in like
Well, that's what
every
happened. But
direction of it.
and Yonner never knows. He just says all these brilliant things and he's all aligned with everything that's going on and he doesn't even know. And that's typically for all of us as well. But anyways,
I don't know anything.
that's the best place to be. So
Like it's the best place to be in, yes.
So after I did the video this morning, and I'm like, okay, fine. And I did this out of order because typically I will do my meditation and write and receive my Wilhelm message. But I received messages, and this is the thing I could not explain to people. They are so aligned with what's happening in the world, in our overall consciousness, but in within me. And so I go to August 6th because I knew that I needed to go back to 2012. And the 2012 August 6th video talked about exactly that, searching for who we want to become. And then eventually we get there. And that is embodying that authentic person that we came to the world to be. So on this site today, you'll see the message says, you might find yourself today. Now, again, I had no idea that I was.
And let me say why it
Mhm.
applies. It applies because every single message is universal knowledge.
Yeah.
It's knowledge that you can observe, that you can look at, and that helps you expand your consciousness. And no matter in which situation you're in, this type of knowledge is giving you always, no matter which day, which date, which message you look up, you always find yourself back in this message. And there's something very special. And this is why it works. It for sure the dates and the messages and like this is the next stage and those things play within as well.
Mhm.
But like every single information that you channel through Wilhelm,
Mhm.
universal wisdom, people can identify with that within them. And this is why people should look at it more closely and even they can even read a message two, three times and
Yes.
they will get more out of it if they feel like it, right?
The thing I had to admit is that I'm the last person to accept it. That's the other thing that happens. But I guess I had to create it. That's what it was. But let me show it. I'll show you everyone because it was really quite, and this is on my site. It's on anyadvicefortoday.com. You guys can find it there. But it says you might find yourself today. Energetics moving through your world and life are urging you to awaken to who you are and who you might become. We sent you a message on this date in 2012 as we began guiding you through your restructuring, but it will make more sense today than it did as it did for our messenger. We had him record a video for you that beautifully explains the philosophy we've provided for you and your planet. And again, this is going back to 2012, which is when all of that information came through. The irony of your physical life experience is that you find what you were always searching for, you already possessed. While this may, on its surface, seem like a pointless pursuit you undertook, precisely the opposite is true. The process of searching is not a futile exercise, but a journey of expansion and evolvement. You knew before coming onto the physical plane that having an imaginary, seemingly elusive goal would initiate and cause that expansion. Pursuing something always brings you back to the ultimate understanding that everything you need is within you. I,
Yes, sir. And like like I just became aware last night that everything that I did, like really most majority of my time, because every time I did not, fell, I received a knockout right away. It
mm,
goes all fast. When I go into the wrong direction, I
mm,
get I get knocked instantly. It's a very fast
yes.
process. But with the so this is why I know when I'm on the right path because I'm not getting
But you are, but
just like slightly touched and moved, right? And there we have touch that I wanted to point on.
But I want to talk about time and age now because see, I keep
Mm.
bringing this up because I need people, we have to, I want to dispel chronological age because I always talk to Yarna and he has all this wisdom and I thought, why didn't I have that when I was younger? Why didn't I know this? This is what we do to ourselves, all the time. But it doesn't matter because it's supposed to show up in our life at the right time for our journey. And then we need other people like you who can demonstrate what is available, and then other people like me who's at the other end of the spectrum who can demonstrate, oh, you can keep getting younger too. And that's what's going on. So to dispel all the limits that we've placed on ourselves as humans and also on our work in our world and our civilization.
Yes, like it is like we won't reach that without letting go of separation,
Hmm.
because only in separation are we tempted to see differences,
Hmm.
or like something that difference is not in a bad way. Like we are also here to experience differences, and we're all experiencing life from different and unique perspectives,
Right.
which makes us unique through our unique experience.
But
However, yeah,
you're demonstrating something else. This is so perfect. I can't even begin this. I can't even talk about this because this work that I that we're working together on, but what I received was saying we had to bring in a new understanding of consciousness into the world at this time to uplift humankind. And so here we are, this black guy talking to this white guy in Germany coming together, which never would have happened 150 years ago. And so
exactly.
that's the progression.
Yeah.
And we have to like acknowledge that. And so this work is about looking at, because it looks a little, people are looking at the world and thinking, things might be falling apart. And I'm knowing, no, that's not what's happening. We're coming together. And that's what the work I was given. And as individuals become who they're meant to be, we have a better world.
Like people can relate through the work that you do offer. Like the text, the messages, they give people space to relate,
Mm.
right? Because you keep it open. Many things you have open in a way that people can take what they need. And this is not always happen consciously,
Right.
but this also allows connection. When we're relating to each other, we're in relationship. This is why I want to point now on how is your relationship to life, right? Because like depending on how you relate to life, to the
Mm.
creator even, to what created us, and
Hmm.
what relationship and what conversation even interaction are you with it? Because people talk about God and people want to be in real like pray to God. Okay, but do you communicate and listen
Hmm.
if God communicates back to you?
Hmm.
And through stillness and contemplation and feeling, you will learn or you learn to understand how the voice of God is talking to you. And it might be through feeling, it might be through goosebumps, it might be through someone offering you a drink or whatever it is. So you never know in which way God will reply to you. But if you're in gratitude and you give thanks for what you have, I became aware this morning on what I have, like in such a way that I can be so happy with what
Hmm.
I am and who I am, what I'm creating, and which timeline I'm living in right now. That this is all very clear and it gets easier and easier. But first, I had to sacrifice something. First, I had to let go of the personality that I created. And the personality that I created, I had to become disattached, or I have to become detached to it. So I could kind of step out and see what a personality does in this reality as an example, but also to like with that seeing from my own perspective, from my own self, living in my like gu living guided by my inner guidance, by my higher self. And this is what Roger is channeling too. So he's channeling Wilhelm, which is a collective, which is also part of his higher self, right? With his energy, part of why he is here, who he is, and what he gives and offers to humanity or to the universe as service for.
And again, you've done it again because you talked about that communication, hearing yourself, whatever term we want to call it, but you said God and what people may think of something else, but it's just intuition. It's just that voice that we each hear, whatever it is. And it frightened me when it first started happening.
And
So,
today I say God, and tomorrow I say intuition.
yeah. But I'm
Right.
going to be completely honest about this one too. And everybody can find this too if they go to the website, any advice for today, but on February 19th. And that was in 1989 when I received the first message. And I've told this story many times because it frightened me. And I said, "What is going on? Who's speaking to me?" And I wasn't going to tell anybody. And I did it every single day. But anyway, and it was um, 20 years probably before I'd even show people the messages as I'm moving through my life. But I want everyone can go to the site and find this, and I want them to see it because they're all the message that came through on this day on February 19th of uh, of this year. If you find that when all the messages are there.
And
Anyway,
you know why Roger is wanting you to look at that is because he knows how valuable it is and how it transforms lives because he
right.
has seen transformation within him whilst he was creating it. And there's a very powerful way of you tapping into a frequency of healing
Yes.
and receiving. So
And some
go
and
and look at it.
And now let me read it because you'll see. Because look how I was being told how I didn't trust what I had. And so I don't want
Mhm.
everyone to know that sometimes that can go on for us. But this was the message. Yes, it is indeed wise for you to realize how powerful you are and also to acknowledge the innate benevolence of your being. You seem to consistently maintain a subtle fear that somehow you would use your power in an ego-oriented way to the detriment of others. The truth for you is exactly the opposite. For the more you gain, you give away. The anger you sense or hostility at times, as you have also been aware of, is not truly directed at others, but merely a reflection of your inner frustration with the intellectual knowledge of your power and your simultaneous restriction of that power, which causes friction. It is everyone's power to do with as they please, and your individual way is becoming more clear and purposeful for you. Be careful of the instilled limitations which would not have you own your worth. Relax and enjoy. And I think that would be the message for everyone. The things that we believe that don't have us own our worth, and they've been generational as well.
Mhm.
They've just been implanted within us. But that was the first message, and I hope people find that one because they said now go back and look at every February 19th, and all the messages come through and make sense, and people will get a good sense of how we progress.
You know, like I just had something and it left
That's
and it left.
it'll come back.
It was brilliant, but like
I
I don't count any longer. And this happened so much that I just like had like such a jam to drop and then I lost it. Um yes, it's a beautiful time, beautiful beings. It's a very, very beautiful time, beautiful beings.
And what we're saying is that we're building out something that's going to even be so much better. Yana, we'll see. We're talking about all this because I've been talking about the changes we're making, and and I love Chat GPT because it has me organize and write it out so easily because I know
It is very helpful and you can communicate with it telepathically too.
exactly.
What I start doing. So you can really with intention and the way you treat ChatGPT, you can really create great things and this is important because we're moving very fast and it helps us to create
Yeah,
faster, to understand faster, to reflect with it too. Like it can give you such a great point of view.
yes. I
And
can't do it with the Wilhelm messages, but I can do it with everything else. So, uh,
yeah,
but this is the thing. We are going to our purpose is causing healing and upliftment of the planet. And that comes through every single person. And that's what we're committed to doing. And that's what we're doing. And now we're just going to take another step. That's all, which we all will. And everyone will. We're moving through a transition in our world, but it's going to be great when we understand that it's about us owning and loving who we've become. That's all. That,
definitely, definitely. And this is a process.
yes.
4 years ago, I couldn't even breathe into my stomach. It was my chest. Um, like as would something just be blocked. It was painful too. I just didn't want it to let go. There was something holding on so tight, and something wanted to be acknowledged so much. Um, in the same way that, like healing is something very beautiful, and healing is not painful at all. Pain is the part that leads you to healing if you need healing. Because you've been going to the other direction and you like kind of are pointed back towards the direction of your dreams.
Right. And
So
I'm going to start. Thank you for saying that because I haven't shared and that's the other part that's going to come out because I heard it in the Wilhelm channeling session that I hold back because I've healed so much on the physical level, but I don't talk about it as much. I just kind of forget about it. But I'm going to do more because I want everyone to know what is possible. And you're doing that with the work that you're doing also. And so we're going to combine all of it. So, yes.
there's so much happening, so many new information coming in, activations within me, um, that I feel within the collective too, and those of
Oh,
us
yeah.
who are here and shifting um into even higher frequencies every day. And it's a day-to-day thing. Like sometimes it's a lot.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes we have to really rest and recharge.
Mhm.
This is so, so essential that you find the right balance for you, right? Um, do not overpower you, but like move, create your energy from within. You don't need to do heavy stuff. Like it's okay if you like alignment on all levels, like spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally. And if you focus just on one, you may let it fall down some others. It is really important to work on all four levels, like spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally, that we are aware of certain thought patterns that might limit us because we just go to the gym from, oh, I need to, and I need to look like this, and
Mhm.
others, or that he maybe you have to sit and meditate and receive some great information. You're hanging out like at home. There's so many possibilities that if you learn to trust and follow your intuition, your inner guidance, God, if you will,
Right.
you are feeling it.
You
You feel it. It's
perfect.
it's a feeling, it's a knowing that you just carry with you. And no one and nothing can shake you. Because you stay
What you said
and
though is perfect.
so pure.
I
Mm.
don't want to use about changing that we're in a we every day and it's happening, but it's happening um more rapidly now. And that's I want people to understand that and I put out so many things talking about that. And then I also want when I've done my presentations, I show my 10,000 pages or whatever it was of writings. And I do that to show people that we don't necessarily get there right away. We have to like be consistent. We have to do something every single day. And that's what I was doing. But then healing does occur or figuring out who you are. The most important thing
Mm.
is loving who you came to this earth to be. And that's
Yeah, let it emerge. Let it emerge.
yeah.
It's a very natural way. It just emerges the more you are giving your best to be authentic and live in integrity to your values, knowing what you value and living after your values. I think like this is such a powerful way of doing it that you just like know what you like and what you don't like. You know who to hang out with or who not to hang out with or when with who, right? You start taking more your energy you hold your energy in a very sacred way, and you kind of build like your own sacred atmosphere. Like your aura becomes brighter, you start shining, you start becoming lighter, then you start to invoke this in others as well. Um, it's the natural flow of things.
Our next talk is going to be on authenticity.
Uh-huh.
That's going to be the go. So the next that'll be the next talk because you said that in there, and
Mm.
I'm going to talk about that a lot more because everybody talks about that word, but we don't completely get it all the time or understand it. So that'll be our next talk. So
Because it is has to do with our shadow self as well.
yes, yes, exactly. So
And not everyone like to look at it. Some people smile in your face and then they would put the knife right through you and behind your back. Like this is how some people are on the go these days. But only these days, guys. Like it doesn't mean forever. Um, just let's be honest
Good.
and stand our ground and know why we're doing it. And if you know why you do what you do,
We have another portal coming up,
easy.
and I'm going to
888.
yes, I
Yes,
think I'm going
sir.
to do a private channel. I think I'm going to just going to do. We'll see what comes through that day. I didn't plan an event, but I think I'm supposed to. I'll see. Maybe I'll just do a private channeling or something.
I'll be
A
going
channel.
to Amsterdam. I won't be
Yes.
I'll be on travel.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a.
Yeah.
I think my direction is to do a bring in a Wilhelm message, and I'll give that to everyone. So that'll be
Hmm.
the next thing. So great,
It's a good thing. Yeah, do it. Like that sounds good.
yeah, great. All right. Thanks everyone for being here. Have
Yes.
more on our
And
next. When we
let us know what you take away from this
yes,
conversation.
yes,
Because
please.
like we have to know
Yes.
what is aligned with you and what we can learn from you as well, right? We're
Perfect.
here learning. So
Thank you for that. I forget. You see, you're so. I forget to like ask for things.
yeah.
Need those comments. I
If
wouldn't.
I wouldn't, something in me would say, Yana, you have to do it. I know you don't want to, but you have to do it. And this is not because I don't want to say it. It's just because like this is a fucking game. And if I don't tell the people what to do, people won't do. Um, it's insane. But
But that's
if you
our
kind of
resistance.
want to get out and reach people, you have to engage. Right. And like there is a hermit in me as well that just wants to be for himself and wants to be private and alone and like doing whatever.
Yeah,
But there's another part of me
I
who
wrote that article.
who signed up for something big on this planet. So um I ain't too big if I don't do anything.
Well, I want everyone's going to know that they signed up for something big because that's within
Uh,
each person. So we'll get there.
like
All right.
some people choose to leave early, and this is fine too. And this is something that is right. Like I don't think that everyone came here to do something great. Um, they're already doing great in whatever way. This is something that I can find a way to accept that. But in other ways, like when not all people are here to, some people want and some people don't want. And if you are someone that don't want, like I don't push you. I don't want you to do something that you don't want to do. If you don't want to be happy, then you don't want to be happy. And
Listen,
if you want to go into another direction than being happy, then man,
okay.
woman, like
You're
you are you,
you're
right?
giving
And
us another topic. Okay, so
I have some things on my chest, brother. I have
okay,
some things on my chest.
so that one's going to be so next time we're going to do authenticity, and then we're going to talk about contrast and duality on the
But
next.
we have to put them closer to each other because like a week apart, I don't like the vibe is different in 2 weeks. Maybe we want to talk about something different. We have
All
to do
right,
it
well,
like
yeah,
more
okay, so
closely.
we'll figure it out, and you and let me know, and we'll plan it. We'll do it sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Great. All right. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for listening. We'll be back.
Peace. And click the like button.
Yeah. Yes. See you soon.